Oh my goodness. Are you kidding?
This is like what? What do you do?
Get out of my bed.
Excuse me.
Dude, let me tell you, you catch your parents doing that in your bed, that is no longer your bed.
Oh my God. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Just Us Dads. Welcome to another Dadversation. Appreciate that you guys are joining us again. Another episode here, stuck in quarantine. Thank you for tuning in. We're all each in our homes. We got an interesting topic to talk about today, but before we get to that, let me remind you that Father's Day is coming along. June is just around the corner. We are preparing a couple of Father's Day special episodes for the month of June. We're thinking of a giveaway perhaps a little bit before Father's Day, so we're throwing some ideas around. Until we get there, though, before we get to that giveaway, if you are looking for something great to buy to your dad, to your husband, or to anyone that you know that is a dad and deserves something great, head on over to our website and get yourself some beautiful Just Us Dads merch that we just officially launched and make that man happy. Also, reminding you again that all episodes as of last week are exclusively on YouTube now, the full episode. So go on over to our YouTube site, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so that you can be notified every time something new comes up. There will be clips going up on Facebook as well. So like that page and stay tuned for those little episodes as well. We are on every single social media platform, Instagram, Twitter, and of course on every audio platform that you get your podcast. So you can head over to iTunes, Google, Snapchat. That's not an audio platform. I meant Spotify, Snapchat. How the hell did Snapchat come up? Spotify, SoundCloud, and all those. And there you go. That's it for the announcements.
I was going to say that was so beautiful, almost here, but then you fucked it up at the last minute.
Yeah, I fucked it up at the last minute, but it's okay. Snapchat is an audio platform now for everyone.
I think you missed your nap, George.
I'm getting tired of doing this over the internet, man. Like, I just can't wait to just have you guys back in studio and just fucking,
I know. We all can't wait. And
I was asking
I was saying I can't wait. I can't wait to socialize and somebody.
I was asking my wife. I'm like, when do we lift the quarantine here at our place, man? I can't be doing this over the it's fine because it's accessible and it's easy, and I get the practicality of it. Everyone is home, but at some point, man, it's different when we're in studio.
Yeah, it is.
Studio.
I've done two barbecues and I've been to 2 barbecues. I don't know if that's a good idea.
You stopped giving a shit.
A little bit. No. Look, I didn't stop giving a shit. I'm still careful. I still disinfect everything.
Yeah.
I still keep my distance, but it's like, hey, let's get in the real world.
I thought I was ready, and somebody tried to make plans with me. I was like, whoa, I'm not ready. So much pressure, back off. I haven't thought this through yet. Give me a week to prepare.
Where's all this love coming from?
No, I think people look, guys, this weekend was really, really good weather.
It was a beautiful weekend.
It's very hard to keep people from
apart,
leaving their house. It's very hard.
But you, Chris, I mean, you go to your in-laws and you're with your parents, so it's people that have been staying in pretty much all the time, and you're just seeing them anyway. Or was there other people that you went to see?
Yeah, I went to see other people, but again, it was always logical.
Yeah,
nothing too crazy. No hugs, no kisses.
Yeah. But your kids are old enough to understand. Don't touch each other.
Actually, no. I didn't bring the little one. I couldn't trust. No,
yeah, no,
they can't. They roll over each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had my daughter's second birthday, and it was strange because you guys were all there virtually. We had invited all the friends to kind of sing along.
Did you record it?
Thing. I did. Yeah.
You
It's
did, huh?
recorded. Yeah, I recorded it. And it was just weird. It was just my family, my in-laws came over, and then everyone else on screen. And the funny thing is that obviously you guys couldn't see it because you can't see what's on my computer screen. But in addition to the computer screen where we had a bunch of people on Zoom, there's people that don't know how to navigate the internet and do all these things. So they were on their cell phone on WhatsApp or on other whatever. So we had like 3 or 4 phones lined up on the computer in front. Over, I think somebody took a picture. I'm gonna try and get and put it up. It was the funniest.
It's hard though, man, because a birthday is something. It's like a social gathering.
Yeah.
You go there to make a warm environment. You go there to like, you can conduct a meeting on Zoom, but I find with a birthday party, it's a good effort because you still get to see people, but it's not the same. You'll never replace it.
No. And for us, and I think we said it on the first episodes. Anything is a good excuse for us to just kind of, there's a birthday, there's a baptism, there's whatever, there's just a few moments in the year where you can kind of break away from the monotony and the work and everything and just go see your old buddies and talk and so you kind of need these things to happen.
I was a little confused. I wasn't sure if we're supposed to stay on after we sing and the candle goes out. Am I supposed to hang up? So I see people start dropping, so I'm like, okay, bye, click.
Well, yeah, it was just to sing happy birthday, right? That was the point.
Exactly. No, but I understand how uncomfortable, like how awkward it must feel. Like, okay, what do we do now? Is it over? Do we all leave? Do we?
You're staring. What are they doing now? He's not over there.
It was good. There was a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you know what happens? I think when you're on your phone, because I'm rarely on my phone on Zoom. I'm always on the PC or a laptop, and I think the screen just keeps on moving, right? Every time somebody talks.
Yeah, you
have to go to the multiple screen option.
You can do that even on a laptop. You can put the option to have only the person speaking show up on your screen.
Even on the phone?
On the laptop, you can do that on your screen. But we always leave it. I leave it on grid, so I see all of you. But on the phone, Chris, you have to swipe. Like you got to swipe.
No, I wasn't swiping. Every time somebody would talk, they would become the screen.
Yeah, but if you would have swiped, you would have seen the grid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Swipe to the last page.
Next time. Next person's birthday.
Next birthday. Whose birthday is next? Chris, is yours. June. Or July. When?
July 7th. I don't think it's gonna do a Zoom. I think we're inviting people over.
Hopefully by then. Oh, come on, man.
Two of his friends. Two to three of his friends. That's fine.
No, but this can't drag on until July, man. Honestly, like I was honestly thinking this week to just bring you guys in here, bring you over, but my wife was a little.
You know what? They're scared of this second wave. So let's see how people behave. If people behave well, you won't see a second wave, and then it's going to be fine.
Nobody's behaving well. Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened in Toronto last weekend?
Yeah,
like thousands of people at a park.
Like millimeters apart.
Like a sea of people.
They gave away like millions in tickets.
Really?
The cops had a blast. They called for backup. Come, joyride over here. Oh man,
free pickings.
All right, let's talk about something because George sent us a little message that had us laughing. So I'll let George reel this one in.
No.
Yeah, you can do it. Tell us what you messaged because this is interesting.
Alex chipped his tooth today, his front tooth. It's a dog tooth. This is for life. I told him today, you're gonna take this with you till the end of your life.
There's no more. It's his adult tooth. It's his real tooth, not the fake ones.
They don't grow back. There's no falling on your place.
You can fill it.
You can fix it.
Yeah, I was just trying to scare him so I could be more careful. He came in losing it. And then when he saw my wife, oh my God, his tooth is chipped. And if you only knew that could have been the second worst thing that happened to him this week. Close call.
Wow, what happened? No, you can't share?
We almost got interrupted. Let's just say that.
What do you mean? Like
during intimacy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It was so bad. Intimacy,
like I'm talking about door handle, hand on George, door handle.
Making love or effing?
Doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter, man.
No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so
The
That's
thing
why.
is, you have when you place back in your mind, you see things in detail, and I couldn't get it. Why he just wasn't getting it? Because we had put a two episode limit on the show he was watching. We want him to watch 2 shows, and then you go play.
Mm-hmm.
And we went beyond our two episode limit.
But that's your mistake, man.
Hold on. Time management is everything. I get it. He's can I watch another one? He's yelling. I'm like, yes. we're saying it with this urgency and this like almost aggression, as if it's like a plaintive. No, you can't do it. But we're saying yes, and he was confused and just wasn't getting what we're saying. And he kept on coming closer, and we're screaming louder. It's just getting closer. The hand was on the doorknob, and only then did I realize you could watch another one. I said, "Calm."
Can I ask you a question, man?
It was so close.
No, can I ask you a question though? Instead of trying to manage time and all that in the episodes, why didn't you just lock the door?
That would have been the other smart. Wait, your door's locked? My doors don't lock.
The door wasn't locked. It was too late to go backwards.
All right. Well, next time, lock your door. And George, you need to buy doors with locks.
Yeah. After this story, we're definitely changing something. Sure.
That's the or
hand on the doorknob, right? Like, oh man.
Okay, so he didn't walk in on you.
No. I said he almost. I said that the chipped tooth was almost the second worst thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the chipped tooth wasn't because he walked in on you.
The chipped tooth is the worst thing that happened this week. It was almost the second worst thing that happened.
George kicked him in the face. Chipped his tooth. But you know what? I'm sure that everyone listening to this probably has a similar story. But is this the first time it happens, George? To you guys?
Well, you have to understand he's 6, so it's the first time that it happened.
He would probably understand.
That he comes this close and he has this much, he's this conscious of what's going on around him,
Yeah.
When they're younger, you could lie about it or mislead them or whatever. At 6, close to 7 years old, there's a lot of details that he's going to ask about. Like, what was that? What was that?
Maybe not now. Maybe not now. But it's at an age where for sure he remembers things now, right? It's not like when you're 1, 2, 3, where you don't remember anything.
Yeah,
like this is probably one of those things that when he's going to be 15, he's going to be like, wait a minute. When
that's right.
I walked into
it was almost one of those things.
Yeah, it was. No,
at 6, it's like they're too young.
They're too innocent to realize what it is.
Right.
But as you get older and know more about the subject, you say, "Oh, that's what was going on."
That's what it was.
That's what we all went through. We all had those enlightening moments, right?
Yeah. I'm good, man. What?
Has any of your kids walked in?
No, man. I lock my doors. No, look. Obviously, you try. For me, those little quickies during the day. That's always when there's no kids around, or they're outside playing.
It's quarantine.
Yeah, but you got to lock the door, and it has to be after 9:30. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 9:30.
Saturday, Sunday, 9:30.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 9:30. That's what's happened. No, he's never walked in on us. But mine is at the age where he understands everything.
Yeah.
So we'll be watching a movie and a couple kisses, and he's like, "Oh, that's X-rated," Okay. Is this movie a rated R?
Yeah.
So he asked this question, so he knows exactly what it is. But no, I never got caught. I've caught my parents. Yeah, I've caught my uncle.
Yeah, you told me a good one about your uncle. It's hilarious.
But
how is it hilarious, man?
Well, it's always funny catching somebody doing it, man, because they don't want to be caught. But it's not for me. I don't know. It wasn't traumatizing. First of all, it wasn't like intercourse. It wasn't it was just them kissing, making out, being intimate.
Yeah.
And it was like everybody pretended that nobody saw anything, and then that's it. It ended there. And you never talk about it ever again. Never, ever. Nothing happened.
Yeah, because there's 2 stages, right? There's the warm up, and then there's the action.
Really, like foreplay action. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh no, this was pre-foreplay. This is foreplay of 50-year-olds. Or 55-year-olds. I don't remember how old they were.
But the story with your uncle, it was like in the middle of it, like right the smack.
That one was like that one was
Triple
like,
X.
that was rated R.
That's horrible, man.
Yeah, that was like that one was one I stayed and I looked for a little bit. I stayed watching for a bit, it was in the,
Did you ever tell him?
Yeah, just to understand what was going on.
What's going on? How does he do it? Why?
How old are
Did you ever tell him?
Never.
Guess what? He's gonna find out now.
He might find out now. I didn't say which uncle.
Yeah. There's only two.
You're right.
But how old were you?
I was young, man. Not too young. Maybe 14.
Okay, no, man. You totally.
I knew exactly what it was. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't young. I'm
14.
It's like live porno. It was live porno.
Yeah.
That I didn't pay for.
It's a lot different when you're catching, your mom.
Yeah. Like I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, that's that's just disgusting. My brother's friend, and we're not gonna name who it is, but I don't know.
You're gonna just say somebody I know.
George, just give us his initials.
No, and then again, look, I don't know if he told my brother his secrecy, but again, the secret's out. So if he hears this one, he's gonna probably know who we're talking about. But anyway, he left. This is like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. My brother was telling me the story, and he's like, "Oh, he, what happened?" I'm like, "No, what happened?" He goes, "Well, he left, told his parents he was gonna go to work, so he left the house." And then he realized he forgot something, so he came back to get it. And he walked in his bedroom. His parents were doing it on his bed.
Oh my goodness! Are you kidding?
This is like what? What do you do?
Get out of my bed.
Excuse me.
Dude, let me tell you, you catch your parents doing that in your bed, that is no longer your bed.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Guys, everyone has a story. Like
that's the worst one I've ever heard.
No,
you're in adulthood and you're catching your folks at that age in your bed.
Oh man. I was crying.
There's so many things we can't share. Like there's so many things I can say that I can't share right now.
No, and you shouldn't. But I've never caught my parents. In fact, I think my parents only did it 3 times. That's it. 3 kids. 3 times. That's it. Oh man, I'm trying to think if obviously the little one, I don't think anything, but I'm trying to think with Emma if anything's happened, and I think maybe once she walked in, but it was like you said, it was like the warm up of the foreplay kind of thing. So it was fine, like nothing was happening, or almost nothing was happening. You know what's funny though? This is the first time I'm thinking of locks on the. It never even crossed my mind.
Wow, that's awesome, guys.
It never even crossed my mind.
You are aware of this invention called a lock, right?
That's fascinating. Fascinating thing. It just never. It has just never crossed my mind, and I think also because. I don't know. I mean, what if your kids go in the bedroom to play or whatever, and they lock themselves in there, and you can't. Like you're locked.
No, you can always unlock it. Yeah. You use the
little pin that has a little hole that you put.
A little pin or a screwdriver. You can unlock it. You can always unlock it from the outside.
It usually has a slot for like a screwdriver.
These are not locks to prevent break-ins. These are locks for privacy.
Yeah. Well, if you know how to unlock it, there's not much privacy.
Well, it buys you 2 minutes till they go get a screwdriver and come back.
Your kid's not going to figure it out. And if he does, it's like exactly, you have enough time to stop.
I think my brother's caught me once. I don't know if I believe him or not. This was back home. I was with one of my exes, obviously, and he told me that, bro, I walked in and I'm like, what are you talking about, man? You didn't walk in. I didn't hear shit. He goes, yeah, bro, it's because I ran away. I left. My brother talked. Yeah, bro, it's 'cause I left. But I didn't see anything, so that's his problem if he saw.
It's fine, man. Everyone does it. It's what's wrong. It's you know what? If everyone was having more sex every day, there'll be less war. There'd be less issues.
Imagine
they say an orgasm a day keeps the doctor away, right?
That's what it is.
No, they say an apple away. Sorry, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's an orgasm a day
you
keeps
just
the doctor away. I ruined. No, that's what it is.
Just imagine someone like Hitler got like 3 key blowjobs in his life. World War II doesn't happen. 3 key moments in his life.
Strategically,
everything changes.
Everything changes, man.
We're at 7 billion 40 years ago.
Oh my God.
I believe that. People should be having more sex, man. People don't have enough sex.
They should look to primates, man. That's how they solve all their disputes.
And it is a taboo subject. I get it, but people should talk about it more. It shouldn't be taboo. You should be able to go in a bar or anywhere with couples and everyone at all ages and just say, "Hey, so how did you have sex today?" You know, and people say, "Oh, this is what I did," or like, "Do you pee on her?" Yeah, I do. You know, like I think that's where it should be. And then in the next 30 years, that's where we're going. That's where we're headed.
I don't think so, man. I think this is one of the topics that will forever stay like a personal thing. But no, I mean,
humility.
Especially when you're married. I mean, you don't want to, you don't want to be talking about, what you're doing with your wife. But I mean, your exes and those little flings that you had when you were fucking 20. How many times have you told your friends, "Oh, brother, this and this happened"? Like, I mean, you brag about your exploits at some point.
Guys,
those go. Yeah,
guys could spend 99.9% of the time talking about what they did, how they did it, and how they wish they had more. No?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how old you are. It can
That's a fair number.
Look, at 16 or 15, it's like, this is what I want to do. By like 20, this is what I've done. By 25, this is what I've done, who I've done, and where I've done it. And then by 50, you're back to like, man, I wish I would have done this, and that, right? So you're always talking about it.
You're questioning, what are kids doing these days?
But I think people are a little bit more open-minded about this stuff. They're more promiscuous. They're more.
No.
Yeah. They're. It's out there now, man. Like I think in high school or in college right now, a girl could just show up in front of a guy and just say, "Hey, let's go do it right now." When we were growing up, that was like 1 out of 4 billion.
Yeah,
there were 3 women like that in the world. Today, there's like maybe 25 in I don't know, at maybe just a Hansik.
But things have changed too, man. Now there's all these apps and all these things, and it's like they don't even.
That's what I'm saying. It's
there's
easy.
like
It's
literally
accessible.
no communication.
Yeah, you know what it is before.
The what?
People had the amount of sex that people are having is not less. It's just the amount of partners is more. The same amount of sex, just more partners.
More partners, yeah, could be that. It's getting a little crazy too. Actually, it's luck. It's a weird topic, man.
It's a strange topic because you're torn between values and being modern, and it's such a honestly, it's an individual place. That's what it is.
Like, how many people do you think versus like, let's say 50 years ago? I don't know the stats. I haven't looked at them, but I'm just saying.
You think there's stats on this?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, of
course, there's stats for everything.
Especially this.
How many people do you think today get married as virgins?
Oh man,
dude, very little.
Yeah.
Well, in our world, but there's some communities, man, really religious communities.
Yeah, but it's a few. What I'm saying, it's a few. It's a handful.
Yeah, but George, those religious communities existed back then also. We're talking about like a real society. Like, I mean, putting aside the religion, it's just the values and the taboos of society, Back then, almost everybody. It was like, listen.
This is what it is. This is what you do. You save this for this. This is sacred, and then you start having children. That was it.
And they also got married at 19, so.
Yeah. Everything's changing. It's just it's an interesting topic because you have the young people that the new 15 is 13, or the new 16 is 13 or 12, so they're more going at it heavily, and then you have with the Me Too movement and stuff like that, where the adults are like, hey, I can't do this. I got to ask permission before I do this. I got to ask permission before I do this. So this whole kind of romantic thing is kind of not dying out, but it's definitely being affected.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of guys are afraid of like intimacy. They're afraid of like, you know, you can't just do what you used to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you prepare your kid for it? Like Chris, you Gerasimos, how old is he now? He's 11. He's turning 11 this
He's
year.
turning 11. Yeah.
Okay, let's say he's still far away from it. You know what I mean? Like from having any sort of sexual relation.
Well, is it far? Let's say he decides to do it at 14. That's not far.
No, it isn't. But now with everything going on, like you said, I mean, is there at some point something that you have to do with Alex to sit him down and just say, listen, there's a certain level of respect, and you can't just do anything. You can't just
Oh, absolutely. Look, the values are going to be taught, and I'm somebody who's very open. You guys know me. I'm very open about this stuff. I'm not just vulgar like when I kid around, but I'm very open. Nothing makes me too embarrassed. Like, I could talk about anything.
Yeah.
And with this subject, I think you need to speak to your kid, but don't forget they're teenagers. Teenagers are going to do stupid things, right? They're driven by a lot of adrenaline, a lot of testosterone hormones, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, like you can have all the values, you can have the right mindset, but it doesn't mean he's not going to do something stupid. Right. So kids do stupid things.
Things get presented to you. You have an urge. You might react to it.
Like everybody's parents at least said, "Hey, stay protected, do the right thing." But you've probably had some exceptions. You probably knew you had to do something and you didn't do it.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying maybe one of those days it was like, yo, I'd forget it. I'm not going to use a condom.
Yeah.
So basically your protection is my risk. You're hoping you're right. Right. So even if we even did that, so it's kind of hard to make sure that your kid doesn't do it. So you just got to teach them the right things. I guess the best thing to do is just keep the lines of communication open. So if anything does come along, he can tell you, right? He can talk to you. He can say, "Hey, this is what I'm feeling."
Flirting and hitting on people has changed. So and it's changed to something that we can't relate to. So it's like his social circle will show him how to do it, man. You don't need to tell him, "Hey, when you like a girl, don't do this."
The question is,
know what not to do.
Yeah, but
it depends. It depends. When I was young, I did stupid things.
Yeah, because everybody did stupid things.
That's right.
You sat in a circle and you laughed about it. I did this and then I did that. And then I took a chance and she said yes.
What I'm saying is that somewhere in my mind, I knew I was doing the wrong thing, but I still did it anyway.
I'm just saying there wasn't that risk that there is now of like being completely humiliated and called out.
Yeah, absolutely,
So these rules are applied from the social circles,
Yeah, and you could be labeled with toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
And this kid has to be tamed. This kid has, we gotta, But anyway.
Do you think it's
a tricky one?
No, it's not that it's tricky. Do you think that it's something that you should leave up to his social circles rather than to address it like at home?
Look, I think it's I think kids before they become teenagers, I don't know how valid this is or if it's scientifically proven, but I'm pretty sure that until the ages of around 11, 12, 13, let's say the preteen years, kids kind of relate a lot with their parents. So they'll take the advice. They'll listen to the parents. Around 11, 12, 13, 14, somewhere there it starts changing. And what they want is they start listening to their peers.
Yeah.
So the idea is that they're probably not going to listen to you. So you have to start working a little bit earlier. So at least the idea is in the back of their mind.
Right.
And you hope that you lodge it there like far enough that it always comes out. But you know what? If they're at a party and there's a bunch of friends and it's like, "Hey, I dare you, I do this, do that." Hey, when that thing starts and the peer pressure starts, I think a parent's word kind of loses to that.
Yeah.
And you know what the scariest thing is? Like when we were at that age doing stupidities, and we've been to the house parties too, and all that peer pressure, we've all had it, like the spin the bottle and all those things,
Yeah.
No one was around with a stupid phone filming. You understand?
Luckily enough.
Oh yeah, it was just a story. You're right.
Like nobody's there.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I
right. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
imagine now. I mean, your kid, your kid goes on all these social media platforms and all. Like naturally, as his parent, you're gonna follow him. You're gonna, just see, okay, what is he up to, or what is she up to? And the next thing you know, you see a video with, your son or your daughter tagged in it, doing stupidities. Like, I would lose my shit.
Yeah, doing things you shouldn't have been doing. And you know what, man, you're right. Because the other thing is, let me just add to what you said. You're right. There was nobody filming. And if somebody was filming, it was a camcorder and you knew it. And you know what?
It was
It
cute.
was part of the setup.
It was rare. It was rare.
Yeah.
But now, I think what's happening now, it's not that the environment kind of makes it like nice and you're ready and you start doing stupid things and it's like, hey, let's film this. I think now it's like, hey, I want to film something, do something stupid.
Yeah.
Just you know what I mean? Just to capture it.
Yeah.
It's even worse. It's even worse because it's like I have this here. It's very easy. Do something stupid. I want to upload something, and that's where I think it's a little crazy too.
That's how stupid shit like the Tide Pod challenge start.
Yeah.
What is that?
Where they would,
you never heard that?
the Tide laundry pods.
It's like this little
machine,
the plastic
little puck. It's like a dishwasher puck.
Okay.
It's for the laundry machine.
Yeah.
The challenge is you swallow it.
Yeah.
And this is this thing going on for a couple
all
of years.
These stupid challenges. It's the stupid challenges that make me worry more, man.
Yeah.
It's like you just want your kid to be clever enough to like want to be part of that, but just be a bystander. Just be there.
Brush on it.
Yeah, be
lightly
there.
Brush against it.
Exactly.
Lightly.
Don't be the idiot that starts the shit. Don't be the guy that
Don't be in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, these are the things that I think about. And for now, at least, my mind is at peace because they're not even there. They're not even close to that. So they're not even close to that. But, in 10 years from now, maybe a bit less, in 7, 8 years, this is what I'm going to be thinking. I'm going to be thinking, geez, okay, everyone has a cell phone. What the hell is she doing? Who is she with? There's just all this added stress. I mean, our parents, of course, we did a lot of stupid things. Like the minute we walked out of the house, I can only imagine what was going on through, in my dad's head. Like, oh God, I just praying to come back in one piece because we did stupid shit. But the stupid shit ended at the end of the day. You understand? Like we like, we would go to school like on Saturdays, for example, and just ditch it and okay, rebels, and it was done. Nobody spoke about it. Nobody heard about it.
If you didn't talk about it, it never happened.
Yeah, but you know what I think subconsciously though, what it was, George. I think it was because somehow, well, either subconsciously or consciously, they trusted our judgment. I find parents today don't trust their kids' judgment because they're not as
Are they right not to? Are they right not to?
I think so, yeah, because they're not as sharp. They're sharp for certain things, but they're more naive with other things.
You think it's because they haven't been raised as feeling as desperate, whereas because when you're desperate, you become resourceful and you become clever.
Yeah,
and our kids are not desperate at all. Like Nick was saying last week. Our kids are not desperate at all. And it's because, like you said, we're the yes generation. So we haven't left them getting clever because they don't need to be clever. They just ask and they get.
Exactly. There was less trial by error.
There's no maneuvering anymore. They're very open about everything. They don't think like, let me keep that to myself. They don't strategize as much.
I think we do a lot of the living for them.
Yeah.
Like we take care of the problems. We try to avoid all the problems. Yeah. And then because they haven't seen enough obstacles or they haven't had enough adversity for them to grow and learn from, it becomes like, okay, then they just hit their face on the wall.
Yeah.
So look, obviously this is a big topic. This is a very complex topic to elucidate it in one episode, right? Yeah. And we don't have the experts with us, but it's an interesting one. This is something that we could bring somebody to talk about this stuff because everyone's thinking about it. And everyone's thinking about, okay, like a lot of times I'm thinking, oh man, I got to protect my kid's brain. That's how I think. And once you start learning a little bit about the brain and what it does, now it creates the filters and what it takes and how it stores it. You're like, man, I hope stupid people don't get to my son first. Because it's so malleable. The brain is so malleable, and human beings are so programmable. You could program what you want. You can have somebody with a lot of intelligence, and this is like $1 trillion computer, and then you could run this $1 trillion computer with $7 software. Guys, I'm serious. And if the software is not right,
that's a good analogy.
It's man, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, you know what? I've thought of things like as I mean, I'm very much agnostic, almost atheist. You know, so I don't have a very strong presence in my house for religion. So it's a question that doesn't even come up to my kids because they have no concept of it. And I'm afraid that somebody is going to grab them and teach them this world that I haven't given them any introduction
to.
Wait,
you're saying this, you're agnostic or atheist, so you're saying that the religion is missing because that's what could give you a little bit of the moral compass? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I haven't given him any concept of religion.
Yeah.
I give him a natural and a factual world. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't say that there's magical beings and all this kind of stuff. But what if it's missing from him? He needs that explanation.
Yeah, I think
and somebody provides it for me, and I lose him to that. I can't pull him back. You know what I mean?
I'm agnostic as well. I've been atheist, but now I'm more agnostic. But now I'm at the stage where I really, really understand that some people really need the religion.
Yeah.
And if they don't have some other moral compass,
and it has nothing to do with what I've done with him.
Exactly.
It's his own thing.
It's the right thing. It's the right stories. You could take the right moral values out of that. I'm not saying that without religion you don't have a morality. I'm just saying that it's a good way to start teaching it.
It is. But what I'm saying is I don't use these references at all. So I'm saying, what if he comes to a certain age where somebody who does, like one of his buddies, his parents happen to be uber religious. Yeah. And they start throwing little things at him, hey, look at this. Oh, well, let me tell you a story. It's a religious story. Let me tell you this. And look how beautiful this is. And look what happens when you just follow the rules. And he just falls for it.
But you know what, George? It's like, honestly, from all the things that he can fall for, hope that it's that.
Some of them are nuts.
You know what I mean?
But some of them are nuts. Some of them are nuts, though.
And it's not the guy who says, hey, let's go sell drugs because you wanted that video game. And you know what? We can make $25 in a day. Let's do it. Yeah. I hope it's the guy that says, hey, by the way, the Bible verse this and this says this, because at least you know what I mean.
That's if it's something that you can identify with. What if it's something you can't? What if it's something weird extreme?
Like your kid comes back home, Dad, can we get that figurine that Tommy has at home? It's this man hanging off a piece of wood.
Yeah. Well, that's okay because he owns one. He might not know much about what it means, but he owns one because his godfather got it for him.
Yeah.
But it's these other weirdo religions, man. There's people that have done mass suicide because of some.
Oh, these are cults. These are cults.
I know, but good people, smart people get trapped in there. It's not only stupid people.
$1 trillion computer.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. $7 software.
Yeah, that's it.
So sometimes these kind of ideas cross my mind. I'm not saying I'm actually worried, but it does cross my mind. I got to keep an eye out for it.
I think about it too all the time, but I'm accepting a little bit more and more now. I'm accepting it more. Look, that's why the idea is like we gotta make our kids critical thinkers.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be the annoying person that questions everything either, and like is not fun to be around with. You know, and you're always that guy putting down comments and putting down arguments and all the time. But you want in the back of your kid's head to be a critical thinker. You know what? Don't just swallow everything you're told. You know, use your mind, and you're going to be wrong and make the mistakes, and just don't fuck up too much.
Yeah, and
there's no formula, man. There's no formula for this.
And you hope that serves him in any context, right? I mean, there's a bunch of his friends doing stupidities. Like you just want that to kind of spark that reflex of him saying, "Okay, no, this is not right." You know?
Or if I'm going to do it, you know what? I did it Tuesday, Wednesday. You know what? Let me take Thursday off. Like I mean, I don't mind if he does the bad things. He has to go through that, but understand that it's part of growing up. It's not a state to be in forever. You can't be trapped in there forever.
Yeah,
that's how I think. You know, go through it, but don't be trapped in there forever. Like there's enjoy all the nice little phases.
I mean, the only thing that I worry about a lot is, it's the cell phones, it's the video, it's, bullying has taken a whole other sense now, I mean, we've seen bullying at our schools. Maybe we were even
cyberbullying is a different beast.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's a tricky one.
They film you, and this is what worries me a lot. And
think about it. Our first video calls or video conferences that we ever did in our lives were in our late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And these kids are doing video conferencing, and they have no concept. They don't even realize that they're doing a video conference. They don't even.
But the bullying is also you see, that's another subject. Like, you know, a lot of people are tackling the subject, and it's you can't just punish the person who does the bullying. I'm against bullying, even though I was kind of a bully, and I feel bad that I was like that. But I had to go through that to understand it. So. People get bullied. People are going to bully. I think it's part of nature. You can't eradicate that from the world just because you start punishing the person who does the bullying.
Mhm.
But I think as important as it is to punish the person that does the bullying, you have to also teach the person who gets bullied to grow a thicker skin,
Yeah.
to take the hits. You got to take the hits. You can't just go complain and start feeling shit about yourself. You got to grow through that. You know what? You're not gonna. Your parents are not going to. Your parents, the school, the society is not going to be there to stop every bully that shows up in your life.
Yeah, but it's easy to say, Chris, but when you have a kid that is vulnerable because, you know, you're 10, 11, 12 years old, you don't really understand why the other kids are doing that because you come from an environment where you're so well sheltered and everything.
But that's it. That's the point.
No, I understand, but it's not their fault. I mean, you know, you can toughen up the kid, but when the entire school is up their ass,
that's when you got to make a decision. That's when you got to make a decision.
How strong of a character do you want this kid to have? You understand? Like to just say, yeah, they're forgetting.
No, but George, think about it. What will make more sense? If the whole school is bullying your kid, do you reprimand the whole school, or you just decide, hey, maybe this school is not for my kid?
Guaranteed, man.
You know
guaranteed,
what I mean?
We're
so
out.
There's other decisions. There's other decisions to be made.
For sure.
You can't change the world. You got to change yourself first. And let's say you don't like something, you're trying to change it. If you can't change it, you change the way you think about it. And then you keep going on. You can't keep moving on.
To what George is saying about how it's like compounded the whole school on the kid, it escalates fast to that. Like from a little incident, by the end of the day or the end of the week, the whole school's up against this kid. And then up until that point, everything was perfectly fine at the school.
And especially now, I mean.
And imagine you change school, and again, within no time, it could escalate to that really quick because of a bad one stupid incident. It's a new beast that we've never dealt with.
Yeah, and you know what? We need to work on both ends because usually the person doing the bullying has insecurities. He tries to look superior by making the other person feel inferior. So you can work on both ends. All I'm saying is that you won't eradicate it by treating one part of the equation. It's two equations. It's something plus something equals something. You treat both sides.
Like one thing that is a timeless truth is the person who's getting bullied, once they confront the person, even if they are on the losing end of a fist fight, it usually ends because they just faced it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
They keep picking on someone who keeps finding ways to run away, so they find other ways to bother him even more, you know?
Yeah. But then once they go through that adversity, that becomes their advantage now.
Because picture you're a kid who's getting bullied and you're just finding clever ways to get around these guys. They know you're going out of your way. They're affecting your life to get around them. So they keep doing it because it's funny for them to feel that they have this control over you.
Look, hypothetical situation. You go out for a walk and you walk by your kid's school. You don't want to, like, they're in recess. You don't want to, make a scene or whatever. You're like, oh, let me just, stay by the side. I don't want him to see me, or, I don't want, necessarily to see him.
Mm-hmm.
But you notice that your kid is getting bullied. You see it happening. What do you do?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Look, I think this is a case per case. It depends what he's told me. It depends how he grew. Like now, if you're asking about Gerasimo, I know Gerasimo. Like I've seen him how he is in sports. I've seen him being confronted with certain things, and I see his response. I've seen how he's reacted to certain things, and so I trust his judgment. But what I would do is I wouldn't get involved. Absolutely no, because I think that would embarrass a personality like my son's. That would embarrass him.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't show up. But I definitely try and get some information at night.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Who your friends?
I had a situation similar. Yeah. We were noticing he was being a little more. He usually loves going to school, waking up, getting ready, going. Never any resistance.
You're talking about the old one now.
Yeah, he has a good social life. He enjoys his classmate, everything. And there was a while where he was resisting, and we didn't understand why. So I just randomly one morning asked him the question. I'm like, is somebody scaring you or bothering you or hurting you? Or somebody doing something to intimidate you, maybe a bigger or older kid? And he said, yeah, there's this boy that a couple of times he's intimidated me and one of my other friends and la. So I'm like, okay, just tell me if it becomes something you can't manage. You're like, just let me know. Just don't let it get worse. If you start becoming scared, you're afraid to eat your lunch, you're afraid to play with your friends, let me know. So I called his lunch lady just to leave her a message, just to keep, because I wasn't sure if he was tricking me. Maybe he just was feeling lazy to go to class and he's trying to find ways to get out of it. And he said yes to anything I suggested, right?
Yeah.
So I dropped her a message and I'm like, he told me this, and this, but before you do anything, please call me. I wanted her to do nothing, just just observe.
Yeah.
She grabs him by the hand and starts walking through the schoolyard looking for the kid who bothered him. I didn't want her to play bodyguard.
Yeah.
I just wanted her to call me. I asked, please call me before you do anything with him. Don't even ask him about it. Please call me. She took it upon herself to go traveling through the school to find this boy and put an end to it. She's trying to do good, but I didn't appreciate it.
That's what I mean. That's what they do. They go straight to the bully, and it's like,
I wanted to help. I wanted to get my son past it on his side. I didn't care. The kid's problem is his own problem. You can deal that with his parents. But my kid has to be dealt with on his own side.
No, but don't forget.
I passed it. I didn't like it.
The other kid doing the bullying, that's another 5-year-old.
Yeah.
That's another young kid who needs help. He needs the guidance as much as your kid does. You know what I mean?
He doesn't need to be punished.
Exactly. It's about figuring things out, and we do less of that.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to punish the kid. I didn't want. Maybe my son made fun of him, and he had just never told him about it. You know, like I didn't know the whole story, but I didn't want any adult intervention, and she went straight for it.
Yeah.
She took my hands out of it before I could.
But was it solved?
He never brought it up again. They never confirmed it. He never found the kid. I'm assuming he made it up not to go to school. I don't know the whole story.
Yeah. Well, at least it was effective.
I never got to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that wasn't a solution for me.
Well, it was. Look. It's effective because obviously you're not dealing with this problem anymore.
No, but they never came across the supposed kid. There was never a confrontation about it. Nothing was ever fixed. It's just he stopped telling me it.
Okay. Well, maybe he maybe dealt with it.
He made it up because he didn't want to feel like going to school that week.
That's another thing with that instructor or the lunch lady. You know, it's like you said something to her, and if she had the mindset of, okay, I need to help the kids out, I have a situation here, she probably would have acted a certain way. But she took it as if you're a client. Yeah. And my client is complaining, and I need to go fix it. And it's two different mindsets.
I got to get back with an answer.
There you go. And we got to make sure this client doesn't complain. But that is not going to yield the same solution if your mindset is, I got to go help these two kids. One does the bullying, and one is the one.
I think she was trained to do that, because the moment I brought something up, she took it apart, grabbed him by the hand, took a straw, point. Was it him? Was it him? Was it him?
And maybe it works. Maybe it works.
It didn't work, man. They never confronted anybody. They never saw anybody. But I told her, I wanted her to call me specifically. I just wanted to observe, to see what is his lunchtime uncomfortable for him? Is there really somebody making his life miserable? Is there somebody preventing him from being a kid? Like, I wanted her to see and talk to me first.
Yeah.
And she took that away.
There's a lot of this going around, man. Obviously there's less going around when, like, how do I say this? When the kids are from a similar culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously I'm not saying that bullying doesn't exist there. It's
there's less contrast.
There's less things to pick on a person about.
Yeah.
Right? There's less things to pick on him. It's like, okay, because I'm not going to pick on him on that because it's similar. I'm not going to pick on him with that because I do the same thing. So because it's more close, there's less bullying. But like I said, we're not going to eradicate this.
Yeah, but at some point you're gonna be exposed to it. I mean, look, I take our example. We went to a Greek school, right, elementary school, and we were all together. And assume that first of all there was bullying. Let's be honest here, but let's say there wasn't that much. Eventually, you go into high school where that environment changes, right?
Of course.
So, I mean, you're just exposed to it later on, and maybe that's a more fragile period in your life to actually deal with it. You know, when you're going through your,
no doubt.
You know,
but the point is that you're going to go through it. You might not, but you might go through it.
Everybody has a.
We were never bullied. We were never bullied because we had Chris with us. He was born with facial hair. So by the time we got to high school,
actually, we did get bullied. I've got bullied twice in my life. I was
the biggest kid in my age group, and I got bullied too.
I got bullied. I got beaten up. I got beaten up once at a metro. And I got bullied when
but that wasn't in school. It wasn't from kids in school, though.
Well, it was. I was play fighting with somebody, and they thought I was being racist because I was play fighting with somebody. And a few of them were waiting for me at a metro. That was once. And another time where we almost got jumped when Lazo came.
Oh, yeah.
So, we've been bullied. Obviously, and don't forget, we did a little bit of bullying. So probably that was karma. Because we did a little bit of, we had our share of bullying.
Yeah.
But you know what? Our bullying was more to have fun.
It wasn't abusive.
It wasn't abusive.
Well, you're saying that the person who got bullied probably doesn't have the same recollection.
I don't know.
You know what? Maybe they went home and they felt really bad. But I remember
doing stuff to people that was really funny for me. It was really funny for me, and anybody who was not experiencing it was laughing a lot too.
Yeah. Look. Obviously, now thinking back, it was stupid.
And I've apologized.
Yeah.
I apologize because you know what, I felt bad, man. When you get older and you realize what kind of a dick you were.
Yeah.
And that's important. Some people never grow. You know, some people never grow.
Person that you did
some people still do this every day.
Yeah, it's true.
Some people do this to people.
There's companies that have adopted the no asshole rule. You can't be an asshole. You cannot be an asshole. You can't make people feel bad about anything. You cannot make people. Use people as a stepping stone. You know what I mean? You're there to train people to become better and to find good solutions for your boss and for your company. You're not there to improve your social status and to you know.
I'm sorry, man. You said asshole and just thought of something. Can I share something?
Sure.
So my son is 11, so he's getting to know all the bad words, all the cuss words.
Yeah.
And we're moving far from just F-bombs. We're learning everything. We're getting the whole spectrum, the whole array of songs
it's
words.
Inevitable. It's inevitable.
Yeah. So
this is with you. Wait, this is with you, or you just hear him saying that with?
No. I hear it. He tests it out. He plays video games. He says it. He'll test it out with me.
Yeah.
Like he'll whatever. I hear it.
I got what is it? Yeah.
And I'm not the crazy parent that's gonna be like, stop saying it. I'm gonna kill. No. It's like, hey, get us to stop saying that. You know it's not good. Yeah. I know you know them, but stop saying them. It's not nice. People hear it and they don't react to it nice.
Yeah.
Your friends, you can kind of say it, but be respectful. So you know what? It's just like, it's a bad thing to do. I know you're going to do it anyway, but eventually, like, stop doing it. Just do it enough that you're okay. Anyway, so he was on the computer, and he speaks Greek. So he wanted to know if I know a word in English, what is the equivalent in Greek. So he put asshole. He put asshole and on Google, I guess, and then he wanted to know what the pronunciation was in Greek. So I'm in my room in my office, and I'm hearing tripa colu.
Because he pressed the button there. How do you pronounce it?
I'm like, what is this thing doing? He was just laughing. He was just putting different words and laughing. And you said asshole. And that's what I thought of. That's what That's what he does. That's what 10-year-olds do.
You know, it's.
I remember catching my niece and nephew. I told them, "Look, man, we all say it. Just don't embarrass your parents. Don't say it around adults.
Exactly. Just don't embarrass yourself, you know, and your parents. I know you're going to say it.
Adults, that's all. Keep it within your friends. That's the only thing that you could do.
Let's wrap it up, boys. We're gonna have some interesting guests coming up. We're looking at different people that we can bring on the episode that are willing to share some of their experiences being dads in their environments. Like we said, of course, June is coming up, so we're looking forward to a couple episodes that we're gonna tribute to our dads and in general, just being dads, because I think we deserve it. I think there's a lot out there for women, and maybe deservedly so. But I think it's about time that we put up some stuff that deal with men and dads. And yeah, we're looking
Just to make it clear that we're not man rights activists, right?
No, exactly. Yeah. No, we don't.
We're not that. We're not that.
No. We just want to create a little, hub for men to come and hang out with us, man, because it's just fun to be around another man and just joke around different things. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Anything else, guys, before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting if people could just put in the comments what they want to hear, if there's any kind of topics or subjects that they want us to treat, whether it's to bring a professional and talk about
if
something.
they have any suggestions for George's locks. It's about time you looked into that because your kid's getting older.
And if they want to share, if you guys want to share a story of how you got caught or caught your parents, that would be interesting.
I would love.
Keep it anonymous. We'll keep it anonymous.
We'll keep it anonymous.
Or if you have the courage, put your name. and especially if you know us and we know you.
George's brother's friend, come forward.
Yeah, no, definitely leave whatever comments you have below or on any platform that you're listening to this. Share some stories if you have any. And we're going to see you in the next episodes. And yeah, we're getting into June, guys. It's summer and it's Father's Day special episodes coming up, guys. So thanks a lot. And we'll see you in the next episode.